morning.
Good morning. I'm Madison Carmouche. Thanks for joining us this Monday morning. We are at that 5:30 mark, and today is November 4th. Let's check in with meteorologist Megan Desmall for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, it does not feel like November 4th outside.
It does not. In fact, it feels quite warm. I'd say maybe even September feeling, right?
Definitely, especially for a morning.
Exactly, especially for the morning temperatures. And as we go into the day, we'll continue to see those temperatures being quite warm, and we're not going to see much as we're looking for rain, as satellite radar is clear right now and will continue to be clear throughout the rest of your day. Those current temperatures, quite warm. We're looking in the 50s for the most part, with some places at that 60-degree mark, 64 Jackson, Ashland, London, and 61 for Irvine and Somerset. But take a look at Monticello, 65 degrees as you're heading out the door this morning. So definitely a warm one. As you're going into the highs, you'll continue to see this trend mid to upper 70s across the board, with the exception of the Virginia counties seeing the low 70s and 68 as you're looking at wise. Here's the interesting fact. As we're going into our overnight lows tonight, take a look at Jackson. 62 degrees is their forecasted low. The weird thing about that, the normal high for this time of year is 62 degrees. So the low temperature will be the same as what we normally expect to see this time of year. Something to think about. And as we're heading into the next couple of hours, we will continue to warm up into that high temperature at that 2 p.m. mark and cool down starting at that 6 p.m. hour. Madison?
All right, Megan, thank you. What is estimated to be the costliest American strike of the 21st century might be coming to an end. Boeing union members decide today whether to accept a sweetened contract deal. Some expect the vote to be closed. If members accept the deal, they'll head back to work after more than 7 weeks off the job. If they don't, their strike will continue. Amy Kiley reports on the vote's national and global implications.
For me personally, it's okay. Could it be better? Absolutely.
Striking Boeing workers are voting today on the company's latest contract offer. They're deciding whether to continue what has become the costliest strike for the U.S. economy this century. The new deal involves a 38% raise over 4 years. That's up from an offer of 35% last month, but still shy of the union's original demand of 40%. Boeing's also offering a ratification bonus of up to $12,000.
This is better than our last offer, but I think they can do a little bit better, but we need to get back to work.
Union leaders warn the deal might be the best they can get. Some workers seem ready to accept it after striking more than 7 weeks. Others are holding out for more.
I don't care how long it takes. That's why I'm out here. I want my pension back. I don't care how much money Boeing is losing.
Analysts say the Boeing strike is significant enough that it put a temporary dent in Friday's jobs report. It's also affecting global travel as airlines await new planes. With so much at stake, the acting U.S. Labor Secretary says she's been facilitating negotiations personally.
Collective bargaining works. It doesn't always look pretty from the outside, but when workers have a voice, it's better for everybody.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Next year, U.S. workers will be allowed to save a little more pre-tax earnings in their 401k retirement funds. On Friday, the Internal Revenue Service announced the new contribution limit for 2025 will be $23,500 and up to $500 from 2024. For those 50 and older, the IRS did not adjust the limit on catch-up contributions, which stands at $7,500. The exception is for those aged 60 through 63 who can deposit an additional $11,250 and or 150% of the general catch-up provision. On the stock market, computer chip manufacturer Intel will lose its spot in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. The change comes after a 25-year run. Intel will be replaced by software corporation NVIDIA with the blue chip index. Intel's shares have declined 54% this year, making it the worst performer on the index with the lowest stock price. On Friday, Intel stock fell about 1% in extended trading, while NVIDIA was up by 1.5%. The changes will be effective prior to the open of trading on November 8th. One person is dead after a house fire in Pulaski County. Officials with the Somerset Fire Department say they were called to Harvey Street Saturday for a fire. They say crews saw smoke from a single-family home and were told there was possibly a person inside. Firefighters found the victim and pulled them from the home. They were pronounced dead by the Pulaski County Coroner's Office. The name of the victim has not yet been released. Also in Pulaski County, a death investigation is underway after a body was removed from over an embankment. The Somerset Fire Department says the Pulaski County Coroner's Office asked for their help removing the body. It was found near the 1300 block of Highway 3057. That's near Sinking Creek. The person's name and cause of death have not yet been released. The Coroner's Office is still investigating. Saturday, people from near and far made their way to Holy Trinity Catholic Church to remember Senator Johnny Turner. Turner was a Harlan County native who served his county as an attorney. He later held a seat in the House from 1999 to 2002 and eventually became a state senator in 2021. The visitation was last Friday, where we spoke to Senator Philip Wheeler about the man behind the public service.
He was in many ways both a friend, a mentor, and a confidant. He loved the hills just like I do. He truly was a fascinating man.
Senator Turner's burial followed the funeral at the Rest Haven Cemetery in the Keith community. Folks are preparing for the visitation and funeral of a former Southern Kentucky police chief today. Elijah Holon died on Tuesday. He served in law enforcement for 34 years, including 17 of those as police chief of the London Police Department. Holon's visitation will be today from 10 a.m. until noon at the Bowling Funeral Home Chapel in London. Holon's funeral will take place immediately following the visitation. Elijah Holon was 77 years old. With plans for a new prison in the mountains moving forward, people on both sides of the development are preparing for what comes next. The Federal Corrections Institution which is expected to be built on a 500-acre property in Letcher County, would hold more than 1,400 inmates on a former mining site in the Roxana community. While some folks have been campaigning for the build for decades, saying it will bring opportunity to the area, others are arguing against the need for the space, saying it will only bring more harm.
I guess the thing that has motivated me and our people is that it will provide, they tell us, 300 or 400 good jobs.
The average life expectancy for a correctional employee is 59 years of age, and many suffer from PTSD, anxiety, depression, and suicide.
The next step is for the Bureau of Prisons to purchase the property, which supporters say they are looking forward to. However, those against the build believe there are environmental factors that still need to be addressed prior to construction. Doctors say walking pneumonia is usually caused by something called mycoplasma pneumonia, a certain type of bacteria. And the uptick in cases could be because kids are back in school where the bacteria is floating around. Symptoms of walking pneumonia are typically mild but can be severe. They include dry cough, fever, fatigue. Treatment options also vary based on the type of pneumonia. As for prevention, doctors are encouraging parents to get their children vaccinated against bacterial pneumonia and influenza, which can actually cause pneumonia. There is no vaccine specifically for walking pneumonia.
There is a very effective vaccine against many of the bacterial pneumonia strains, and every child should be vaccinated against this. We start vaccinating against that early in life, and that works very, very well. But because the pneumococcal bacteria has so many different strains, we can't protect every strain with the vaccine that's currently available.
In addition to those vaccines, doctors advise getting your child vaccinated for COVID-19 and immunized for RSV if eligible. Thanksgiving is just a few weeks away, and some Kentuckians are getting ready to help single moms in need. The Adopted Single Mom program provides Thanksgiving meals to hundreds of families in Kentucky every year. It's run through Peer Worship International Ministries. Carla Matamoro started the effort 15 years ago when she became a single mother after surviving domestic abuse. She says they expect to feed more than 400 families this year if the donations are there. They're asking for whole meals, partial meals, or monetary donations.
And so when they get these baskets and they see what's in there, some of them cry. You know, you just think about, I always ask people, put yourself in somebody else's shoes and feel what they feel.
The organization will be distributing food on November 17th. They hope to have donations in before then. Saturday, the city of Lexington promoted safe walking, biking, and scooting. They hosted its 4th annual Glow Ride. Participants added lights and reflective gear to their bikes before parading through the Legacy Trail. The event is meant to shine a light on the importance of being safe when riding at dusk or in the dark. Organizers say every year they schedule the ride on the weekend of the time change.
Days are getting shorter, it's going to get dark earlier, and so this is an opportunity and a fun way to remind everybody that if they're out walking or biking, be sure that they're wearing something reflective, something bright, that cars can see them.
Angela Poe with the City of Lexington says Glow Ride is also a reminder for drivers to be on the lookout for people who are walking or biking. Still to come, Kentucky's annual book festival saw bookworms leave the pages behind to meet some of their favorite authors.
And after only 4 days of rain in October, we have 5 days of rain this week alone. I'll have more information coming up.